Hi, this is Terry Justice, APA League Operator of Maryland and Eastern West Virginia, and welcome to APA Talk. This is our June edition, June 2nd. I'm a day late on this. We've been busy getting ready for our triennials and our World Qualifier. As summer session is underway, we're in probably week 4 or 5 in most areas. We're also wrapping up the Tier 2 triennials over the next couple of weekends. Tier 1 triennials are finished, and congratulations to all the winning teams. They'll be advancing into our national qualifier, now called our World Qualifier, held out in Vegas in August. I'd like to make a few announcements before I get into the triennials and World Qualifier. The 8-ball doubles leagues. We've started up our first 8-ball doubles league up in Hagerstown on Wednesday nights, Division 251. This is our first session, and if you're interested in getting 8-ball doubles in your area, just let our marketing manager, Melissa Frank, know about it. Give her a call on extension 112. Same way with our adult youth leagues. If you're interested in having those in your area, we have our second session now underway at the new Green Room. We have 10 teams competing for the summer program. I'd like to say congratulations to the McKinneys, Stephen and Tanner. Stephen is 15, Tanner is 7. They won our local team championship, and they will be competing in the national championship on July 13th through the 16th out in Davenport, Iowa. They received travel assistance to head out there and compete with other youths from all over, the U.S. and Canada. Also, our mixed format league is now in its 6th session. We've been testing that out. Everybody seems to be having a great time. We have 10 solid teams for the summer playing in the Dundalk, Essex area. That's another format that we can offer in your marketplace, along with the adult youth leagues. The teams, we're finishing up with the LTC for the mixed format. Will be held, here this within the month of June, and we're going to be sending one of our teams out to compete and play in the Mini Manias out in Vegas when our regular 8-ball and 9-ball teams head out there. The 8-ball doubles league, I forgot to mention, we have it on a different APA calendar year because they're going to be competing out in Vegas in the doubles program in, I believe, the May time frame. So we're going to conclude it with the fall session. So it'll run spring, summer, and fall. So if you'd like to get involved in the 8-ball doubles leagues, either in Hagerstown, in the Dundalk, Essex area, at the new Green Room, or in any other areas that you'd like for us to start it up in, for the fall, that will be the last session of the APA 8-ball doubles league basically year. And we'll have an LTC in February, so you have really a good opportunity to advance and be able to head out to Vegas in May and compete. Probably one of the best opportunities that you'll ever have. Now, again, we're wrapping up the Tier 2 triennials over the next 2 weekends. The winning teams there, we will be advancing 8 of the 8-ball teams for the 9-ball teams, along with the ones that have qualified back in the summer, fall, and the Tier 1 spring 8-ball and 9-ball teams into what is now called our World Qualifier, the Green Room, here in about 3 weeks, the last couple of weeks of June. They'll be competing there. We'll have 71. We disqualified one of the teams for non-performance. So we have 71 8-ball teams competing with, I believe, 16 advancing out to Vegas, receiving $5,000 in travel assistance to head out and play in the World Championship. The Tier 2 9-ball triennials will be advancing 4 more teams, bringing that up to a total of 36 teams competing in the 9-ball World Qualifier, and we'll be advancing, I believe the number is 11 of the 9-ball teams to head out and compete in the World Qualifier. We've been quite busy over probably the last month reviewing skill levels. I want to thank everyone for their surveys, the skill level surveys, the sportsmanship surveys. I've been personally reviewing those along, especially with my tournament manager on the skill level surveys, looking at all triennial teams, triennial players that we receive complaints on, also our World Qualifier teams. We've reviewed every one of those, matched those up against surveys, against other input that we received in, and in a few cases we did raise multiple players on teams to make sure that we have the fairest World Qualifier ever. We're going to stay on top of this stuff. I want to call your attention to an article that we have in Chalk Talk, and I've been putting this in here probably for the last 3 sessions. It's in the centerfold, page 23. It says, how to cheat the system. It's sort of a little bit of sarcasm there for the players that are trying to get over on the system, and also to educate all of our members a little bit on how the system works. The perception out there sometimes is far worse than what's really going on. We spend a lot of time and energy behind the scenes. I've been doing this for 33 years. At the end of the summer program will be the end of 33 years. I'll be starting my 34th year in the fall. And I've seen about everything. I've only had the wool pulled over my eyes, by a couple teams, and I'm glad to say that we took action there. We did have multiple teams try to get over on the system over the years, and they've been disqualified, thrown out of the league, permanently. So we do take action. We evaluate any complaint that comes in here. I see it. Okay, I have a staff, I have a committee, executive committee that reviews the complaints, but I get personally involved and I know what to look for. I've taught all my staff what to look for. So we really put a lot of energy behind the scenes. You may think when you send a complaint in that it just goes on deaf ears. It 100% does not. Now, please read that article again on how to cheat the system. You'll get a little bit of an insight on, yes, people are trying, but it's only a small amount of people that are trying. We have over 8,000 players play every week in my area, over 1,300 teams. So there are going to be a few people that think that they're, I guess, smarter than somebody else. And like I said, I did have the wool pulled over my eyes one time. I will not have it pulled over it again. We will take action as needed, but in most cases, our system, the equalizer system, and I know some of you may laugh and say, yeah, right, it really does work. If I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't be running this operation. It has a lot of stuff built into the formulation there that takes into account human nature and what people try to do. Such as the, banging around of the balls or losing intentionally, etc., etc. So all that stuff is reviewed. When we get complaints, we still go the extra mile of pulling up the records of all these players, see how they participate in higher level tournament, how they participate in playoffs, tri-cups, if their team goes anywhere, if they're playing on singles boards, if they're qualified on one team, dumping on the other. I mean, I've seen everything, and I know what to look for. So please trust me on those issues. Don't get as excited when someone makes a statement off the cuff saying, yeah, I could have won if I wanted to, but I want to keep my skill level down. I mean, those stupid statements that are made out there are what cause all the problems, not the sandbagging. So please fill me in. At some point, I'm going to get tired of hearing those statements, and I'm going to just start raising people just for making those statements. So please, if you're someone that's doing that to cover up because you think you're better than you are, and you want to make an excuse for losing your match, please don't make those statements. It sends the wrong signal to all the other players. They label you as a sandbagger, even when you're properly rated. So, again, please read this article. I don't want to belabor this, any longer, but it'll give you a total insight. We do evaluate every complaint that comes in here. We look at every complaint that comes in on surveys that we send out there. We don't just send them out there, just to be doing it. We want your input. Because occasionally we will find somebody that falls through the crack and we'll take action on them. Now, we evaluated, as I mentioned, every player, and we do this every session. Every player that goes into the triennials is evaluated. Now we're cross-referencing information from surveys, so it gives us a little bit more ammunition. Where there's a lot of smoke, then there's some fire. We had one player that looked to be okay, the team looked to be okay, but we had multiple complaints, from various teams on that player. So we took action. Again, if we have just a complaint from an individual that says this player is underrated, he should not have beaten my 6, he's only a 4. And we go back, and I just had this yesterday, that's why it's fresh in my mind. It was one of our reps that called in. And I pull up this guy's record. Their team hasn't done anything. He's played, I went back 2 or 3 years, and he had played about 5 times in higher level tournament. 3 or 4 in the playoffs, a couple in a Tier 2 triannual. And he'd only won 1 time at the 4 level, 5 times playing. Their team didn't advance. They're not in the World Qualifier. They got bumped out of the Tri-Cup. So that player was legitimate at a 4. But he had made a statement to the fact that he's just making sure his skill level doesn't go up. Well, he could shoot and shoot and shoot and practice, and from the looks of his record, his skill level wouldn't go up for a long time because he's no better than a lightweight 4. So these statements, the perception that they cause, is what causes a problem. But please keep giving me all the information you can, and we'll continue to provide the best pool league possible for you in the best level playing field. That's it for today. So until next month, God bless. Have fun playing pool. See ya.